Do you want to build the perfect skincare routine but are just overwhelmed by all the products and all the steps? Let's break it down simply, step by step, with morning and night and real product recommendations and the science behind why they work and why you need these steps. I've studied cosmetic chemistry and I'm obsessed with skincare. This is what I've learned from both research and experience. So we'll start with the nighttime routine. I know it's a bit backwards, but in my opinion, this is where the real magic happens. This is where you want to focus on the most to see real results and real changes in your skin. So let's talk cleansing. At nighttime, you want to double cleanse. And I know what you're thinking, cleanse twice, it sounds a bit too much. But this is how you're going to cleanse your skin properly, not strip your skin. Double cleansing is using an oil-based and then a water-based cleanser straight after. If you're using the same cleanser twice or the same water-based cleanser twice, you're going to strip your skin of all your skin's natural oils and lubrication, and your skin is going to be left irritated, dry, and you're going to break out more. So your first cleanse is your oil-based cleanser. This can be a cleansing oil, a cleansing balm, anything like that. How do oil-based cleansers work? Why do we need them? Oil attracts oil. So when you use an oil-based cleanser, it's going to attract all the oil-based impurities on your skin. This includes makeup, SPF, and excess sebum. Even if you don't wear makeup, an oil-based cleanser is still a necessity every night because you should be wearing SPF every day, and this is going to be so much better at cleansing off the excess oil than a water-based cleanser, which may just strip your skin. When choosing an oil-based cleanser, there are lots of options, so here's a few things to look for. First, you want an oil that's going to emulsify on your skin. This means it turns milky and white when you add water to it. This is how you know it's all washed off properly. If it doesn't emulsify, the oil will sit on your skin and clog your pores more, so it's really important to look for this. You also want to look for ingredients like esters or gentle plant oils like sunflower seed oil, squalane, or caprylic triglycerides. These break down makeup and are lightweight and non-comedogenic, so they won't clog your pores. You also want to make sure it doesn't contain any essential oils or isn't really heavily fragranced. These are just unnecessary and can clog your pores and cause irritation. For an oil cleanser, you don't need anything super harsh, just a formula that melts everything away and leaves your skin clean and soft. Some of my personal favourite oil cleansers are the Bioma Cleansing Balm, the e.l.f. Holy Hydration Cleansing Balm, and the Anua Heartleaf Cleansing Oil. These are ones I found really good for my skin. They make my skin feel amazing. If you're wearing makeup, the e.l.f. Cleansing Balm is amazing. And if you just want to cleanse your skin of the SPF and excess oil, Anua Heartleaf Cleanser and Bioma Cleansing Balm, incredible. It's a pretty common question on oil-based cleansers. Why can you use oil-based cleansers that you find at the drugstore? And why can't you just use olive oil or coconut oil to actually cleanse your skin? And the answer is really simple. Oil-based cleansers contain surfactants. Surfactants are so important in skincare, especially cleansers. Surfactants are short for surface active agents. These really clever little molecules have two ends. One end that loves water, so it's hydrophilic, and one end that loves oil, so it's hydrophobic. When you emulsify your cleanser, the side that loves oil is going to attach to all the oil on your skin and the leftover cleanser. The side that loves water is going to attach to the water that you're using to rinse off. This way they can join together and actually lift away. Regular kitchen oils do not contain surfactants, so the water and the oil won't be able to mix properly and actually cleanse away. So how to use an oil-based cleanser. So you want to start with clean hands, this is very important for skincare, and then dry face and dry hands. You're going to use quite a decent amount and massage it in for 1 minute. Focusing on really oily areas like your nose and forehead. You then want to add a tiny bit of water to it. This will emulsify it, so you'll find it goes white, milky, and a little bit thinner. This is going to make it a lot easier to remove. To remove it, you can use a damp cloth and wipe it away, or just splash your face with some water to rinse it off. Here's an expert tip if you suffer from really oily, clogged pores. And once a week, when you're double cleansing, you want to rub your cleanser in for literally about 10 minutes. Really focus on your oily areas like the nose and forehead. You can literally see your clogged pores and sebaceous filaments coming out on your hands. And then rinse it off like you would any normal cleanser, and then follow up with your water-based cleanser. Doing this once a week will leave your skin so soft, a lot less oily and a lot less clogged. Okay, so now that you've removed your SPF and your makeup with your oil-based cleanser, it's time to use a water-based cleanser. This is what's going to prep your skin for any active ingredients or treatments that you'll use later on. Similar to oil cleansers, water-based cleansers also use surfactants to clean the skin. But, and this is important, not all surfactants are created equal. Some are very harsh and will strip your skin of all the natural oils, which will leave your skin irritated, barrier damaged, whereas others are gentle but effective and will cleanse your skin properly without disrupting your skin's natural balance. Here are some surfactants to watch out for. So sodium lauryl sulfate, or SLS, can be very, very harsh and stripping. It's a very effective foaming surfactant, but it can leave your skin very stripped, which leaves your barrier dry, irritated, and vulnerable to the environmental stresses. Ammonium lauryl sulfate is another quite strong and very stripping surfactant to watch out for in your products, especially if you have sensitive or acne prone skin. Now, it's quite a common misconception that these surfactants are toxic or dangerous. This isn't true at all. They're just overkill. They're just a bit too stripping on your skin and you don't need them. You don't need that much cleansing power in a facial product. So here are some good gentle surfactants to look for in your products. Cochimedyl propylbutane. This is a mild surfactant derived from coconut. This is often used alongside other gentle cleansers to boost foaming power without the irritation. Sodium cocoyl isethanoate. This is known as the baby foam surfactant. It's super gentle and often found in the creamy and lower lather products. And finally, decyl glucoside or lauryl glucoside. These are non-ionic sugar-based surfactants that cleanse effectively without foaming too much and stripping the skin. Perfect for the sensitive and dry skin types. Here's a quick water-based cleanser myth buster for you. A lot of people think the more foam in the product, the cleaner your skin will be. This is not true. We're kind of just conditioned to think that more foam equals cleaner skin. But in reality, some of the best cleansers barely foam at all and still cleanse very effectively and very gently. The ideal cleanser should be pH balanced, meaning it should sit around 4.5 to 5.5 on the pH scale, which matches the natural pH of your skin. Your skin's acid mantle is a layer that sits on your skin of sebum, fatty acids and sweat. When you use a cleanser that's too alkaline, such as soap or some poorly formulated cleansers, you're going to disrupt that barrier and leave your skin very vulnerable. This can lead to dryness, breakouts and sensitivity, even premature aging over time. So here's how to choose the right water-based cleanser for your skin type. If you have very dry and sensitive skin, look for creamy or milk cleansers with ingredients like glycerin, panthenol or oat extract. The Aveeno Oat Cleanser is amazing for dry and sensitive skin. If you have oily or acne prone skin, in my personal opinion, you want to avoid any cleansers with added exfoliators like salicylic acid, as you're going to end up using it way more than necessary. If you use it morning and night, that's 14 times a week, which is so unnecessary. You're going to damage your skin barrier and cause more breakouts and more unsensitive skin. So look for a cleanser that's very gentle, yet still cleansing. Some of my favourites are the Elemis Superfood Cleanser or the Skinstitute Gentle Cleanser. If you have combination skin or even normal skin, look for a hydrating gel cleanser. A hydrating gel cleanser with a balanced surfactant system works very well. So to sum it up, a good water-based cleanser should be gentle, pH balanced, and use mild surfactants to cleanse without stripping. If your skin feels squeaky or tight afterwards, that's a sign that your cleanser is too harsh. Talk toners. Toners are a bit of a sticky subject for a lot of people in the skincare community. This is my personal opinion. If you love toners, if you've been using toners for years and they work for you, by all means carry on. But in my opinion, toners are unnecessary. When I was at college, we were taught, it was drilled into us, cleanse, tone, moisturize. That was all you need. No mention of an SPF, and toner was one of the most important steps. Toners were formulated years ago when everybody used soap on their skin. Soap is very alkaline, and like we talked about with water-based cleansers, alkaline products can really disrupt your skin's acid mantle. Toners were then formulated slightly acidic to rebalance that pH of your skin back to 4.5 to 5.5, leading to nice, healthy and fresh skin. Now most of us, hopefully, don't use soap on their skin, and the majority of cleansers are pH balanced. This makes toners pretty redundant. A lot of toners these days are marketed to have an active ingredient in them, like exfoliators. If you're using toners for exfoliation, by all means go ahead, but in my opinion, just use a serum. Most toners do the same thing as serums, but they're just a bit lighter. A lot of people have told me that they use toners to help all their other skincare products absorb deeper into their skin. In my opinion, they're just using this to dampen the skin. Now, when your skin's damp, it does absorb the products deeper. However, you can just use water. You can just leave your skin a little bit damp from when you cleanse. It will do the same thing. Don't waste your money on a toner. Just go straight from your cleansing routine into serums. After cleansing in the PM, this is when you want to think of your retinoid. Now by now you've watched my retinoid 101 video and you've chosen the correct retinoid for you. Here's how to apply it properly in your nighttime routine. So after cleansing, you need to make sure your face is completely dry. Like I said previously, damp skin absorbs your products deeper. Retinoids are an irritant. When the retinoid absorbs deeper, you're not getting any more effect from that, you're just getting more irritation. Take it from me, dry your skin. It's recommended to leave it about 20 to 30 minutes after you cleanse your skin before applying a retinoid. Personally, I think this is a bit excessive. I think just wait until your skin is touch dry and that's enough. If you have quite sensitive areas, such as under your eyes, the corners of your nose, even around your mouth, use a barrier cream. You can use Vaseline. I like to use Avène Cicaphate or even La Roche-Posay Cicaplast for this. Apply a thin layer around these really sensitive areas to protect from the retinoid spreading in your skin and irritating the areas further. Use a pea-sized amount of retinoid and dot all over your face in the areas you want to put it, avoiding the eye area and the lips. Massage it in so it's properly covered and leave it a few minutes to really soak in before using your moisturiser. In the evening, you can use a serum before you use your retinoid, but it's not completely necessary. Definitely avoid using any exfoliators before your retinoid, that is physical and chemical exfoliation. I personally use a niacinamide serum before my retinoid. I use niacinamide morning and night to reduce inflammation and calm down any breakouts I'm having. Niacinamide is also really beneficial for regulating oil production and the overall health of your skin's barrier. So now that you've applied your retinoid or whatever active you're using, it's time to moisturise. This step is essential, especially at night time, especially if you're using a retinoid. So what do moisturisers actually do? Why do we need to use them? Moisturisers aren't just about hydration. They help maintain the skin barrier and lock in the moisture that's already in your skin. Moisturisers generally have 3 types of ingredients. You've got humectants that bind to water and draw it into your skin, like glycerin, hyaluronic acid, panthenol and urea. You have emollients that smooth and soften the skin, like squalane, fatty alcohols like cetyl alcohol and ceramides. And then you've got occlusives, which are generally thicker to seal in moisture and prevent water loss. Look for dimethicone, shea butter and petrolatum. A good moisturiser has a blend of all 3, especially if you're using harsh actives like benzoyl peroxide or retinoids. So what to look for in a moisturiser? If you have dry skin, look for ceramides, cholesterols, fatty acids and colloidal oats. These are all very soothing ingredients and very nourishing ingredients. If you have oily or acne prone skin, look for a lighter gel moisturiser with niacinamide, zinc PCA or panthenol to help balance the skin and regulate the oil production. If you're really focused on barrier repair, look for ingredients like cica or centella, peptides or beta-glucan. These will calm your skin and really support healing. And remember, moisturisers don't have to be expensive. Some of the best ones are cheap drugstore over-the-counter moisturisers. My personal favourite, I will rave about this moisturiser till the day I die, is Laneige Water Bank Moisturiser. I find it's thick enough to be really hydrating after I use my retinoid, but I have quite oily acne-prone skin and it doesn't clog my pores, it doesn't sit on the skin or feel heavy, it sinks in gorgeously and moisturises amazingly. You'll know your moisturiser is doing its job if your skin feels soft and bouncy afterwards. Not tight, not greasy and not sticky. And over time you should notice less flakiness and less irritation and just more resilience in your skin overall. Finish my routine with an optional barrier repair layer. This is where I use a repair balm like the Avène Cicaphate or La Roche-Posay Cicaplast that supports my skin's natural healing process. This is really important because my barrier can be stressed when using a retinoid or any active ingredients for that matter. Both Cicaphate and Cicaplast are formulated with ingredients that mix your skin's natural processes of healing itself. They contain panthenol, which is vitamin B5, which is deeply soothing and anti-inflammatory. They use cica or centella, which is antioxidant rich and calming on the skin. It encourages collagen production and skin repair. They also include copper, zinc, manganese complexes to help reduce bacterial growth on compromised skin and support enzymatic healing processes. And then shea butter and glycerin, which are the rich emollients that seal in moisture and keep the overall skin environment ideal for healing. They're kind of like giving your skin a plaster full of everything your skin needs to fix itself. Think of this as your protective top coat. After your moisturiser, using a barrier balm helps seal everything in, shield your skin overnight, prevent water loss and reduce inflammation. I apply a thin layer to areas that feel dry, irritated or overworked, usually around my nose, chin or everywhere I use a retinoid. And that's my full nighttime skincare routine. It's all about supporting my skin while I sleep, healing and active ingredients like retinoids. At night, your skin works even harder to regenerate and recover, so giving it the right ingredients in the right order makes a huge difference. I keep things consistent, gentle and barrier friendly because healthy skin doesn't need a 10-step routine, it just needs the right products done well. So let's talk about the morning, because while nighttime is all about repair, daytime is all about protection from UVA, UVB rays and environmental stressors. In the morning, we're not trying to overload the skin, just support it with antioxidants, hydrate, and most importantly, protect with SPF. So for your morning routine, let's start with cleansing. Or in my case, not cleansing. I actually don't cleanse my skin in the morning, and here's why. As you know, over cleansing can strip your skin's natural oils and just disrupt your skin's barrier and the natural functions of your skin, especially if you have dry, sensitive or even already balanced skin. During the night, your skin isn't really exposed to dirt, pollution or SPF the way your skin is in the day, so I find it unnecessary to cleanse in the morning. Overnight, your skin naturally produces things like lipids, ceramides and sebum, all of which are really important for maintaining a healthy skin barrier. If you go straight in with surfactants first thing in the morning, especially harsh ones, you're going to strip those all away. They are the goodness in your skin. So you're literally removing all the helpful elements that your skin has produced overnight without even giving it a chance to use any of them. Here's what I do instead. In the morning, I just splash my face with a bit of water, mainly just to wake myself up. You don't have to do this, you can just go straight in with your serums. I'm also quite an oily girl, so this helps me just remove any oil that's built up on my skin overnight and makes me feel a bit fresher and a bit more awake. Now, if you have very oily skin or you're using something like Vaseline or slugging the night before, cleansing is still an option for you. If you do want to cleanse, use the same cleanser you used the night before. There's no need to buy 2 separate cleansers for morning and evening. Just make sure it's gentle and pH balanced, not something that leaves your skin squeaky clean or tight. So whether you choose to cleanse in the morning or not, the goal is still the same, to respect your skin's barrier and promote healthy, healing skin. So in the morning, when you're not really using any harsh active ingredients, this is your time for serums. Serums are essentially lightweight formulas packed full of really concentrated ingredients. They're designed to target specific concerns like dullness, dryness, acne, oiliness, anything like that. And because they're made of smaller molecules than that of moisturizers, they can penetrate deeper into the skin. Think of them as your treatment step. This is where you really personalize your routine based on what you want out of it and what your skin is already looking like. So here are a few serum recommendations based on each skin type. If you have dry or dehydrated skin, try hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is a humectant. It binds up to 1,000 times its weight in water and pulls that into your skin. Just remember to apply it on damp skin so it has something to bind to. If you apply it on dry skin, it can bind to the moisture in your skin and pull it out, leaving to dry and even irritated skin. If you're looking for a general hydrating serum, look for anything with hyaluronic acid, glycerin, or polyglutamic acid. These are all humectants that will keep your skin plump and hydrated. If you have oily or acne-prone skin, look for serums with niacinamide to reduce inflammation and balance the production of oil. You can even use this time to gently exfoliate with a gentle BHA like a salicylic acid serum. If you have quite sensitive skin or are really prone to redness, look for a calming ingredient like cica or centella, panthenol or azelaic acid. These help reduce inflammation and support skin repair. If you have dull skin or uneven skin tone, look for something with vitamin C. Vitamin C is a really powerful antioxidant and a tyrosinase inhibitor, meaning it can help control the overproduction of melanin in your skin. Great for the uneven skin tone or even pigmentation. Vitamin C even helps protect against free radicals over time and boosts the production of collagen, meaning it's also brilliant for aging skin. Just make sure to choose a formula that's stable and gentle, especially if you have a bit more sensitive skin. If you have acne-prone skin, I really recommend skipping the vitamin C. It can be a bit too harsh for your skin as it's slightly acidic and can cause further irritation and breakouts. If you're layering serums, you want to stick to 1 to 2 actives at most. Too many actives will just overwhelm your skin and you'll end up undoing all the good you've done and actually causing more harm to your skin. It's better to be consistent with fewer ingredients than to rotate a new one every day. And think thinnest to thickest. Your watery ingredients go first. If you choose to use a toner, that will go first, and then build up to your thickest ingredients last. Serums are optional, but they're very powerful. You don't have to use one, especially if your skin's happy with a more minimalist routine, but they're a great way to give your skin a little bit of extra support in what you need the most. Now for moisturising in the morning, you don't want to do anything too crazy. Majority of people will just use the same moisturiser they used the night before. However, if you're using active ingredients and the moisturiser you're using in the night time is very thick and greasy, you may want to use a little bit of a lighter moisturiser in the morning, just so you're not walking around all day with that thick, heavy, greasy feel on your skin. A lot of companies will try to sell you a day moisturiser and a night moisturiser. This is just marketing, it's excessive and you don't need it. One moisturiser will do for morning and evening. Now we got to the final and the most important step in your whole skincare routine, SPF. Even if you use nothing else, no cleanser, no serums, no moisturiser, wearing sunscreen is the one non-negotiable step. It's not just about protecting from sunburn, it's about protecting from cellular damage, premature aging, and even skin cancer. Here's how SPF actually works. SPFs contain UV filters that either absorb, reflect, or scatter the UV radiation from the sun before it can penetrate your skin and damage your DNA. There are 2 main types of ultraviolet radiation that we're protecting from. UVA rays that penetrate deeper into the dermis. These are responsible for premature aging, collagen breakdown, and hyperpigmentation. UVA is present all year round and can pass through windows and the clouds. You also have UVB rays, which are primarily responsible for sunburn and can cause skin cancer. They're stronger in summer and they don't penetrate through glass. An effective SPF SPF penetrates against both, so look for the word broad spectrum on your sun creams. So you may have heard before there are two types of SPFs, chemical SPFs and mineral SPFs. What these are referring to are the UV filters in the SPFs. Chemical filters like avobenzone and oxycrylene absorb UV rays and convert them into heat. They tend to be lightweight and invisible on the skin, whereas mineral or physical filters like zinc oxide or titanium dioxide sit on the surface of your skin and reflect the sun rays or scatter them. These are better tolerated by sensitive skin, but because of the nature of them, they can often leave a white cast. Neither of the UV filters are inherently better, it's about formulation and your skin's needs. So why is UV exposure so damaging? UV rays create free radicals in your skin. These are unstable molecules that over time cause oxidative stress and damage to your skin cells and DNA. Over time, this contributes to fine lines and wrinkles, hyperpigmentation, loss of firmness due to collagen breakdown, and even mutations in the skin that lead to skin cancer. And SPF is your daily armor against all of that. So what does SPF actually mean? SPF stands for sun protection factor, and you'll see it next to a number like 15, 30, or 50. If your skin normally would burn after 10 minutes of sun exposure, the SPF number, ratio of time and exposure. So theoretically, SPF 30 will protect your skin for 30 times that amount, so 300 minutes. But all of this is in a lab setting. Real life protection depends on application. Most people only apply about 25 to 50% of what you actually need for that protection on your skin. This is why dermatologists recommend SPF 30 or higher, and reapplication if you're exposed to the sun for long periods of time. In my opinion, if you're going to wear SPF, there is no reason to not apply SPF 50. If you're going to wear it, what is the point in using SPF 30? Just apply 50. To get the protection listed on the bottle, you need to apply at least 1/4 teaspoon for your face and neck, or 2 fingers worth of sun cream. Here are a few important things to note with sun cream. SPF in makeup is not enough. Like I've just mentioned, you need a specific amount of SPF to get the labeled protection. When you're applying foundation or concealer, you're applying a very thin amount. You're not going to get enough protection. You also need to reapply. You're not going to reapply your foundation in the day, are you? Realistically. UVA is also present 365 days a year, which means you need SPF 365 days a year. SPF isn't just for summer, it's for all year round, all skin types, for everyone. Yes, there are a few downsides to SPF. Chemical filters can be quite sticky and greasy, so you may find chemical sunscreens, especially with higher SPFs, a bit stickier and a bit greasier. Mineral SPFs leave a white cast. It's about finding the right balance for you. Using SPFs, or finding the right SPF or using SPF, is about trial and error. I've been through probably 50 SPFs trying to find the right one for me. Here are a few that I personally recommend. Ultraviolet Supreme Screen, Nivea Sun Allergy Protection SPF, and the Q&A Niacinamide SPF, and the Beauty of Joseon Sun Relief SPF. If you're focusing so much on treating skin issues, don't skip the most important step. Prevention will always be easier and more effective than trying to reverse the issue later on in life. Think of it like this. Every time you wear SPF, you're protecting your collagen, reducing inflammation, and preserving your skin's long-term health. Sunscreen isn't just a skincare step, it's an investment in your future and your health. So that is your perfect formula to an AM and a PM skincare routine. Skincare doesn't need to be 12 steps. It doesn't need to be expensive. It doesn't need to be excessive. It just needs to be intentional. Every product you use for a reason. Whether it's the gentleness of skipping a cleanser in the morning, using a retinoid at night, or the daily discipline of using an SPF, it's consistency that matters the most. Good skin isn't about doing everything and following every trend. It's about learning what's right for you and what your skin needs. So if this video helped you understand your skincare a little bit deeper, or made you rethink how you care for your skin, so make sure to like, follow, and save this video so you can come back whenever you need a reset. And if you have questions about your routine, be sure to drop them in the comments. I will answer as many as I can. Your skin is always communicating with you. I'm just here to help understand what it's saying. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at IzzyMaysLife for more. See you next time.